Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Today in Warframe, we're going to go over the Braton Prime Incarnon. Pretty strong weapon. Base form is just a actually really strong, well-equipped rifle. But once it goes into Incarnon form, it becomes a much stronger AOE rifle. So it shoots little radial balls of explosives. Reason I wanted to go over this week is it is the Incarnon Genesis for like this week / previous week, and it's just a good weapon overall, so I wanted to take a look at it. That is against armored enemies, but if we do it against something like, I want to say Murmur, but if we shoot against Infested, I have this thing built up with, right now, Heat Viral, so Infested just become like butter, right? They can't really survive that long because look at the heat. Yeah, so it's a pretty good weapon. It has good heat AoE in Incarnon form, and that's kind of one of the reasons why it's pretty cool. Very similar to like a Burston Incarnon. It's like the brother to the Burston Incarnon at this point. And as you can see, the heat damage, while it could be higher, yeah, it's already pretty high. This is going to be without buffing it with any sort of Warframe buffs inherently, by the way, because I just want to show off the weapon itself. If we take a look at the Incarnon form, this is where it really gets the big boost, right? In Evolution 1. Gains radial heat damage. Anything that generally does some AoE and does some heat damage is usually good in my books. If we take a look at Incarnon Form 1, it increases base damage by 4 or 2, so not a lot. It doesn't actually get a huge damage boost off its Evolution 2, like a lot of other weapons, because it's already pretty strong. With Channeled Ability active, increase base damage by 38, and you get more ammo efficiency. So all in all, pretty good to have a Channeled Ability going. And then the other one, increase base damage by 2, multi-shot consumes ammo directly from capacity and does plus 54% damage, plus 2 multi-shot. So all in all, might be better to use this one if you want to do a lot of damage. I don't know how buggy anything is. You see how it says damage goes down? Because it gives you that plus 38 there. So it'll give you way more multi-shot off that, and you'll do more damage, but yeah, it's kind of dependent on what you want to go with. If you have a channeled ability, that'll be pretty nice. And on this one, multi-shot consumes ammo directly from capacity. If we want to take a quick look at that one, I don't know if it'll affect... Yeah, it doesn't actually affect the Incarnon form, only base form. So it might be a good idea for you to go on that one, depending on how you're feeling. It is a definitely very odd Incarnon, okay, in regards to like channeled ability 2. Either way, it's still good. That being said, munitions grit does technically affect both sides, so yeah, might be a good idea to throw that one on if you're using it in Incarnon form a lot. But if you just straight up always have channeled abilities, might be worth throwing that on. So I always like to go over those because it's more of like a playstyle one. I'd say this one's probably better overall because it does a little bit more damage and multi-shot, but maybe you like this one more. Plus 38 damage is actually a lot, so if you use a lot of channeled abilities, pretty good. Then if we looked at the third one, I have accuracy and then minus weapon recoil. The reason being is this one's on punch through hit, 20% chance for ammo restored, doesn't work on Incarnon form, right? And then base ammo capacity increase, both of those don't work on Incarnon form, so the only thing that actually helps is Void's guidance, in my opinion, because you don't really need a ton of punch through in non-Incarnon form. Unless you're doing a build for non-Incarnon for like the Hemocyte or something, but even then you're better off using a Burston, right? If we take a look at the final evolution here, increase base crit chance by 18% and increase base critical damage multiplier by 0.2 times. Always got to go with those ones. You can go with shots fired with a critical chance lower than 50% increased base critical damage multiplier. So you could do like a low crit damage build, or low crit chance build, but high crit damage, but it's probably not worth it unless you're just messing around with niche stuff. Or you could go with the crit chance and status chance, but hey, it's always up to you. The radial is only 3 meters, so it's not insanely huge, but it is still heat. It has good general crit and status chance numbers, so it's definitely recommended you pop on this Braton Prime. So I wanted to show it off. It's such a good weapon. I know I've used it a handful here and there. Let me double check again what I swapped my first one to. Is that channeled? Yeah, it is. So there's a lot of general channeled abilities that you have out there. Look at the damage there. Oh, works really well. I don't think summons and stuff are properly like channeled. I'm pretty sure channeled it more is concerned with things like Excalibur or Valkyr's abilities, right? Where it's a constant drain or chroma channeled abilities, right? That's what I'm saying. Who knows how well this second ability works, if it straight up just increases it, but they do seem to be pretty similar, so I'm not like too bent out of shape about it. Like, it's still really strong no matter how you look at it. Probably would be better for me because I don't think I played a ton of channeled Warframes all the time. Probably would be better for me overall to put it on the multi-shot and damage increase per shot. Anyways, that's my Caliban build. Let's take a look. Yeah, I'll keep it on this one for now. Let's take a look at what my current build is on it right now. I had Galvanized Aptitude over Hammershot, but I don't think Galvanized Aptitude properly works well with this, and I think it legitimately gets nerfed by the evolution perk too, not like properly applying the base damage. It's not a big deal, but you could definitely throw on some more straight up damage if this is like a little too aggressive for you. You could throw on, instead of the extra heat there, you could throw on like Serration, right? If you have the extra, of course, Forma for it. But this is going to be my general 5 Forma build as of right now. You can totally still throw on Galvanized Aptitude. I don't think it would be bad or anything. I'm just throwing on Hammershot for now. And then if I threw on another mod, it would probably be for a Prime Shred. And then if I threw on another mod, it would probably be for a, I don't know, just like a Serration over here or something. Or a, yeah, I don't want Prime Firestorm unless you can really afford that. I wish it was a Exilus Adapter mod, but it just isn't, right? Like, if Prime Firestorm could go in there, oh, I would love it. But as of right now, I just don't care. But this is my 5 Forma build going on for my Braton Prime, because I think it's strong enough at 5 Forma, but if you definitely want to max out Forma, hey, go for it. So I have Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, makes sense, nothing abnormal there. I have Toxin and Status Chance, so that you Status and Toxin more. Critical for crit, Vital Sense for crit damage. So I'm doing Critical Delay just for like the max possible crit, but you can always do like the lower tier critical mod. And I don't have a general weak point build for this either, right? Because like I just don't care that much. But you can always do the lower tier point strike over crit delay if you really want. But no, we're going to go with the 200% crit chance. Not bothering with anything on Hunter Munitions. I'm only running this one build. I don't have a headshot build or like a Hunter Munitions style build. I never really do. I don't even know how popular Hunter Munitions is these days though. So who knows, but you can definitely do a headshot. It's just for a lot of these explosive weapons, I don't bother with headshot builds. But either way, this is the base damage build. If we want to duplicate it over to B, oh yeah, I have a Braton Vandal. We totally can, just to see how a headshot build would work. Because trust me, headshots are really good. Let's see, weak point headshot, it's multi-shot that can't be modified, so we gotta take that off, put crit delay. Ooh, no, we put shred over there, and then we put crit delay, right? Multi-shot can't be, yeah, okay. Nothing else gives multi-shot, but I still wanna have crit chance, aiming, headshots, stuff like that. I could take out Vital Sense, but I think here probably be best for me to just do something like this. Oh no, I really can't though. Ooh, and I definitely can't afford. See, that's the struggle with when you're messing around with builds like this, if you don't have the proper Forma. Okay, but we have weak point crit chance. If we throw on Galvanized Scope over our other critical damage one, it'd probably be better to throw it there. There we go. See, that's like kind of what you'd want, and then throw on the heat mod right there. So I don't have a ton of just straight up damage, but I'll be boring and throw on like Wildfire just to kind of scope it in there. Yeah, because it's already an expensive build, and I don't have a lot of Omniform, and I don't want to waste them on the Braton. Sorry, not perfect, but it should do the job, and you should get the general idea from this. Because headshot builds are strong. Plus, I still don't have my companion. What I'm doing here first is I'm getting some headshots, kills, and everything, because you have to ramp up Primary Merciless, remember that. Because I don't have a base Serration on this weapon. So you do have to ramp up your damage. That's why it's like, it wasn't doing full damage before per se, but you know. And then once you buff it up here, right, it'll still do absolute gangbusters if you're headshotting enemies. You'll still absolutely shred through all of the enemies. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm just not one that tends to build a lot of headshot builds because I'm like just shooting at everything. But obviously, if you're going to do a headshot build, go for it. It'll still absolutely wreck, right? I don't want to dissuade people from doing it. I just don't personally like running headshot builds myself. But those are the general ideas you can get for the Braton Prime Incarnon. I love it. It's a really strong weapon. I've been using it casually for a very long time. It's like, look at it. Oh wait, sorry. Let me go down there. Look at it. It's so good at doing general damage once you ramp up that primary merciless. That's the only annoying thing about this style of build, is since I don't have upfront damage, you 100% are forced to ramp up primary merciless, okay? And if you don't, you're gonna have a bad time. These are just healthy armored enemies, so I'm not gonna do like the most damage to them because this is a viral heat build. But if I do throw out my, let's say, where are you again? Infested. It'll do good damage, right? Yeah. And then again, throw on the headshot build if you want high headshot damage numbers. And then you should be good to go. So yeah, let's go throw it on some Steel Path 1999 just to see how the general damage is. And I'm gonna use the non-headshot build, just the general usage build, so cheers. Okay, now that we're actually in an area of Warframe 1999, this is why I like using the non-headshot build. So I'm just kind of casually firing off bullets and just doing damage there. I do have the multi-shot uses up ammo set on right now. I don't think that was properly applying before. So I am gonna go through Incarnon mode like a little faster. So that's why I was saying, like, yeah, it might be worth it for you to just keep it on the one that increases the damage if you're using channeled abilities, depending on what sort of setup you're going for. You do get a lot of ammo in Incarnon form, so you still get like 170, divide that up by, doing, with all the multi-shot, I'm doing 4 bullets a shot. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Other than that, this is the Braton Incarnon. Really strong weapon, works really well, and just kind of destroys all hordes of enemies. I forgot that swapping the Incarnon stuff doesn't properly work in the simulacrum. You have to jump out of missions, so that's why it wasn't like properly applying and stuff like that. But either way, that is the Braton Incarnon, everyone. It's a strong weapon that has high damage AOE radial heat. You can get it to red crit pretty easily. If you're using a Warframe that properly enhances the crit, like, you're good to go. It'll spread, and since it's initially heat, you don't even have to like status it for heat. You can just throw on more damage if you're willing to throw on more Forma. But I must say, it's always been... Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't have a rolling guard on Caliban. It's always been a good pleasure using this gun. It's very similar to the Burston, so that's why I thought I'd talk about this one. They're both kind of the same vibe of a radial heat, high damage rifle. And I don't even have Prime Shred on my Braton Prime right now. So, curious if everyone else uses this weapon, if you've built it up this week or anything like that. Or if you've used it on a lot of other, like, previous weeks. But... hey, it is what it is. As always, everyone, I appreciate you being here. If you want to support the channel, you could sub, like, comment down below. Bibbidi boppity boo, you know, the best. Or you can use Epic Games creator code Pupsker. As YouTube's apparently just going insane right now, everyone's really sad. So if you use my Epic Games creator code Pupsker, if you ever buy anything on the Epic Games Store, really helps me out, so thank you. But hey, that's the end of the video today, so I will see you all next time. Cheers.